So, you want to become an outlier. You want to become that top guy, but you're just surrounded by these normies in your life and they're not allowing you to become that outlier. You want to achieve something and you want to become successful, but they're not allowing you. How do you do this? Well, let me break it down in this video. Let's go back to 1960s Seattle in Washington, in the US, for the non-Americans. I think it's in Washington, I'm not sure. I'm not American, I don't live in the US, I live in Australia. So at this point, there are no computers anywhere in the world, right? Except for some universities in America. Most universities didn't even have computers. But by some random luck or random chance, this particular school, it's called the Lakeside, in Seattle, has access to a computer. And a kid who was born in 1955 has access to is pretty much studying in the school and has access to the computer, right? And this kid goes all in and just learns how to code, learns how to program, and he's just into computers all the time. He's obsessed over this computer and he just learns everything about it. And fast forward 10 years, we're in the mid 1970s, and at this point, this kid goes to a university, and you know what? The university also has a computer, and it's open for public use from like 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. And this kid just uses all the time, goes in, again, puts in the hours, does all the thing, just masters his programming and coding skills and everything. Hey, if you want to make cool looking self-improvement videos just like this, I will literally teach you step by step everything that I know. Top link in the description, join the school community. And around 1975, that's when the PC market is just about to take off. Personal computing as a concept is about to take off. Steve Jobs is there, and there's another company called IBM, and everything is just starting to take off. And this kid exactly is at the right place at the right time with the right obsession, and he starts his own company called Microsoft. And this kid was born in 1955, and obviously he's Bill Gates. So this is a story from the book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. It's a great book. You should definitely go read it. And the point is, outliers aren't just, they just don't appear out of thin air, right? So it pretty much comes down to being at the right place at the right time with the right set of skills so that you can really take off and you can really become that outlier. So the first point that I would like to discuss here is talent isn't enough, context is everything. Obviously, there are talented people and individual genius is a thing. Some people are just naturally more gifted and naturally more talented than other people. But I think, not me, Gladwell thinks, the author, thinks that individual talent is just overrated. Because think about it. Success not only depends on the individual talent, it also depends on when and where the talent is. For example, I was born in India and I lived in India for 24 years of my life, right? And only now I'm starting to get how big content creation is and what sort of an impact that you can have with content creation and just by talking to the camera, right? I would say till I was 28 years old, I was just a loser. I was enlightened when I was 28 years old. That's when I discovered self-improvement. That's when I discovered you can make money online. Because it wasn't in the culture. It wasn't there in the culture, man. I couldn't even think that I can make money outside of work. The only thing that I knew was you go to school, you go to college, get a degree and go get a job. That's all I knew. Other than that, I did not know anything else. Because that's the culture. You're not even allowed to think outside the box. Maybe some people in India can do it, but I clearly did not. I wasn't in a business background. I did not even know what business was. So that's how I grew up. But just take me, the same exact me, and put me in America and just give me the American education and everything. I would have been a completely different person because the mindset that I have now would have been in my mind if I grew up in America. But that's the thing. It also depends on where you're born and how, like, what sort of a brain wiring that you have. so that it completely influences you and it completely changes the way that you think. I think most people are just lazy. Most people, like most Americans, have the opportunity, and most people living in the first world countries like America, UK, Australia, Canada, you guys just have it so easy. It's just there. People encourage entrepreneurship. People encourage you pursuing other goals. It's India, it's pretty much crazy. If you do something like that, if you say something like entrepreneurship, I'm gonna not get a job and I'm gonna make YouTube videos, they'll tie you up on a banyan tree and throw tomatoes at you. It's pretty much equal to that. That's how they treat you. And again, it's also about the right timing, right? So let's take Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, for example. They were born in 1955, mid 1950s. And exactly, they were 20 years old. They were obsessed with computers. And what happens in 1975? Personal computing. And they were at the right place at the right time with the right skill set, so that they went on to find Apple and Microsoft. So that's what it takes. You also have, if the same Steve Jobs and Bill Gates were born in, say, 1945, 10 years before that, well, they would have missed the boat, man. Like, it all comes down to the right place at the right time. As far as I can understand, there is this sort of randomness to whatever things that happen, but you can capitalize it if you're at the right place at the right time. That's what I understand. Obviously, it comes down to practice and talent and skills and everything, but there's also this element of randomness. That's my take. Second point is timing creates winners. So I just talked about this. In today's day and age, I think the equivalent is, and definitely, AI. There are like three main things that happened that completely transformed the world and the way that we live. First was 1990s internet, obviously. 1970s computers, personal computing. That's there. But mostly three things. 1990s, the internet, which completely opened up the whole entire world. And the second one was mid 2000s, social media. All the major social media platforms that came up during the mid 2000s and the early 2010s, right? And the third greatest thing that's happening right now is AI. 2023, ChatGPT came out, and the current AI revolution. So there's a lot of money to be made in AI. Even I want to learn AI and do some sort of a thing with AI, but I'll admit it. I'm pretty much have a day job and I'm trying to make YouTube videos, and I have no time to sit down and learn AI. But I would love to learn something and actually do something with AI. There are a lot of opportunities, but I think I'm a bit lazy. I should probably do something. The takeaway from this point is being born in the right era matters. The tech revolution made Jobs and Gates possible. So in today's world, it's pretty much AI, content creation, and maybe a combination of all these things. Third point is the 10,000 hour rule. To become an outlier, to become an expert in a particular field, Gladwell argues that you need to put in 10,000 hours. Let's take Kobe Bryant, the prime example for this. He literally outworked everyone else. He just practiced so much that he became great. Michael Jordan, he was naturally talented. Again, he was relentless. He just practiced every single day. It's hardcore. He wasn't ready to give up, right? So that's the level of mentality that we have to adopt as upcoming entrepreneurs, upcoming creators, and like all these things, right? Bro, it's not luck. It is not luck. It's deliberate practice, obsessive practice over years. You have to do it again and again till you become good. In the beginning, you're going to suck, right? There's no way around it. In the beginning, if you're trying to become a YouTuber, everything looks like crap. Your videos are bad, your lighting is bad, you don't know how to talk to a camera, you don't know how to present your ideas, you don't know how to take the things that are in your brain. First of all, you don't even have anything in your brain, right? Like, that's another thing. You don't know what to say to the camera, you don't know how to structure the video, you don't know how to make an intro. By the way, if you want to learn all these things, I have a school community where I literally teach you everything. Top link in the description. And so for you to become better, the only way to do it is by just doing it again and again and again. Do hundreds of videos. And as our top business guru, Alex Hormozi, would put it, volume negates luck. You do so much volume, it's unreasonable for you to fail, right? You take so much shots on target and eventually one hits. You post hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on a particular niche or a particular topic, and eventually one will hit and one will just take off. And after that, you're getting lots and lots of views, you're getting tons of subscribers, and you're getting the plaque and everything, and you're becoming a success. People are saying, and people would comment that you're an overnight success. But what they're failing to look is the hundreds and hundreds of videos that it took you to get to that point, right? People will only find you in your 151st video and say, yeah, that's an overnight success, right? So that's how it happens. For you to become good at something, you have to put in the hours. So minimum 10,000 hours, but Mr. Beast also says that it's actually 10,000 days, which is 27.4 years. So yes, you have to master something, to become an outlier, to go to the top. You have to do so much, and you have to become an expert at it. You have to know ins and outs of every single aspect of every single thing, how the machine moves, how the machine works, and everything. So yeah, it's going to take you years to do it. The fourth point is culture shapes success. Concepts, cultural values like discipline, risk taking, and like all these things, it can either affect you to become a success, or it can also make you a failure, right? For me personally, I grew up in India for the first 24 years of my life, and I moved to Australia after that, and 2 years of masters, and 2 more years later, only when I was 28, that's when 27ish. So that's when I actually got into self-improvement. My life had to be miserable, and I had to hit rock bottom for me to take some action. That's when I was like, you know what? I sat down, I said, you know what? Things has to change. I need to like completely transform my whole life, like my physique and my thought process, my money making capacity, and everything has to change for me to become an outlier male. Before that, it didn't even occur to me that you can make money online. I was just I clearly remember this. The first time that I even knew that it was possible to make money online was like Ali Abdaal. He's this like famous productivity YouTuber. You obviously know Ali Abdaal. Come on, man. Like Ali Abdaal was making this video, how much he made from his YouTube videos. That was a clear eye opener for me. I was like, oh my god, just by talking to a camera, you can make so much money. I was trying to make it in music and music production before that. So I was trying to make these covers, and like nobody was watching it, was getting like 7 views or something. My complete thing was I need to make music videos. But the switch just happened in 2021, 2022 when I found Ali Abdaal. That's when I thought, you know what? Okay, so you can actually make money by posting other kinds of videos. And it really got into my brain when I discovered Hamza in 2022. That's when he was like really popping off. And looking at him, I thought, okay, so basically you can just turn the camera on and just talk to the camera, give advice, and make like influence people. That's a possibility. So then I started my Indian channel, and that's a whole another story, right? I should have started in English, but I was like dumb. So the whole takeaway from this point is you identify your background. You either can use it or you can override it and smash your goals and become that alpha male, right? Point number 5, opportunity plus effort equals outlier. Brother. Outliers aren't born, right? They have to spot opportunities and they have to put in the effort. Just think about the average man. They're just lazy. They're just scrolling on social media. They don't have a life. They're just spending money on these random things. They're trying to impress people. They're people pleasers, and they're just living life like an NPC. They don't have a brain. They don't have a functioning brain. They don't have any ambition. They just like all they care about is they work hard not even work hard. They just show up to work and they just get paid. Weekend they go out, they get drunk, do some drugs, and I don't know what else they do because I've not been a normie for years now. So I don't even know how they live their lives, but that's how most people live. They don't have an ambition. They're not working towards a goal. For me, I go to my job, I get my paycheck. That's for me to pay the bills. And in my weekends and in my evenings, I sit down and make YouTube videos. I work on my business. That's my whole entire existence. There's nothing else that I do. Yes, it is boring, but you have to be relentless. You have to put in the work every single day. So if you want to become an outlier, you shouldn't be waiting around for luck. You're not going to win the lottery. Nobody's going to shout you out. Nobody is coming to help you. You have to do the work, and you can't. If you're a fat person, to become fit, you have to go to the gym and you have to sweat it out. There's no way around it. You can't hire someone to do the gym workout sessions for you, can you? No. So it's pretty much success is like that. You have to put in the hours, you have to put in the work, and it's going to take a long time, right? The compound effect graph. Nothing is going to happen in the beginning, and all of a sudden something will take off, and your life is going to change. But for you to get to that point, that's the thing, man. Everything happens in the last 20%, but we tend to give up at 79%. Not even 7. Most people don't even start, but the people who start give up at 79%. But the success, the compound effect, only kicks in after 80%. Everything happens in the last 20%. So it doesn't matter if you're just starting and if you're passionate. It doesn't matter if you don't stick for long enough to see the results. Outliers aren't born, they spot opportunities, they act fast, and they grind when others don't. Simple as that. Okay, last and the final point is dealing with normies. I've said it so many times in my other videos in my Indian channel. You are the average of 5 people that you hang out with, right? So look at the 5 people, the 5 major people in your life. If they are normies, your brain is automatically going to think like a normie. That's how it is. In a modern day, you can substitute that with you're the average of 5 content creators that you consume. So if you're watching entertainment style content and you're just watching brain rot content and you're scrolling on shorts and reels all the time, that's going to be your IQ level. That's how much your brain will possibly think. How to deal with normies in your real life? You just have to ignore them, man. Most of your friends, most of your family, they don't get it. My mom is a great example for this. She says to me always, like, eat rice. You can't skip rice, right? I'm Indian, so obviously you have to eat rice, you have to like eat your Indian curry and everything. No, my genetics is already bad. I'm brown. Like, please allow me to make progress at the gym, please, mom, please. But she doesn't get it. She thinks like a mother. She wants me to like eat rice and become fat and everything. See, that's how she thinks. But for me to make progress at the gym and to get the physique that I desire, I have to make some sacrifices. There's no rice, there's no carbs. I have to like go all in. It has to be dialed in. Yeah, when you're surrounded by normies, you have to become the villain, brother. You have to disappoint people. You have to cut everyone out. Your friends that you're hanging out with, if they're not ambitious, let me give you an example. Say, for example, you're trying to become a fitness influencer or you're trying to build a killer physique, right? But all your friends are fat and all your friends are like going out drinking and they're eating junk food all the time. And if you're hanging out with them, that's how you're going to be, or they're going to just slow you down. They're all crabs. They actively pull you down into the bucket when you're trying to leave it, right? So that's how it is. You have to cut everyone out. You have to be ruthless. You have to disappoint people. You're a lone warrior. That's how it is. Self-improvement, becoming an outlier, becoming successful, you have to disappoint people because they won't get it. They all these concepts and all these killer mindset and all these techniques, they won't get it, man. It's too far for them. They can't understand what you're trying to do. They can't. My mom especially, she expect in India there's a culture where when the son becomes an adult and he starts to make money, he needs to give the money to the parents. And because in India people live with the parents, that's a weird concept, but in India the kids live with the parents in the same house even after they get married. So it's a joint family thing. So the mother expects the son to give the money to her and she'll take care of the house expenses. Since I moved to Australia, I'm taking care of my own expenses. So what my mom is expecting is she wants me to give her money to get a new TV, get a new couch or something like that. It's because when the relatives come in, when their friends come in, they can proudly say that my son bought this for me. Like our son bought this for us. So things like that. But what I'm trying to do here is I live in Australia. The cost of living is already high with a day job. And I'm trying to take weeks off from work so that I can sit down and work on the business. Why? Because I need financial freedom, but they don't get it. They just think that I'm not giving them money and I'm not supporting them anyway. They don't need support, but still they're expecting me. So that's how it is. People won't get what you're trying to do people think, people, that's all they see, right? People around them, all the kids and everyone, like everyone is like giving money to their parents, and because they don't want financial freedom. All these normies, they're just perfectly happy to stay in a job and be a slave till they're 60, 65. But I don't want that. I need freedom. I need to make my own business and do my thing. And that's exactly why I'm telling you to become the villain, cut everyone out. Don't talk to your parents if you need to. That sounds so bad. But that's what it takes to win. If you don't make sacrifices for your goal, then the goal becomes the sacrifice. That's it. I've said the same thing in the last video as well, so let me repeat it once again, because it's a good quote. Final reminder, top link in the description, join the Skoll community. I will teach you how to make better looking YouTube videos and talk confidently to the camera. Click here if you're a social media addict and you want to stop your doom scrolling. I've broken down everything step by step. And why don't you subscribe? I'll meet you in the next one. Let's smash it one step at a time. See you later. Cheers.